So what we thought we'd do is take another look at Star Wars, which just now broke the United States box office record, which was once held by Gone with the Wind and then by Jaws. Star Wars goes into national re-release for the Christmas season, and for many people that'll be another chance to see those two wonderful non-human friends of ours, the robots R2-D2 and C-3PO. Here we see them in a planetary wasteland.
What a desolate place this is. Where do you think you're going? What mission? What are you talking about? I've just about had enough of you. Go that way. You'll be malfunctioning within a day, you nearsighted scrap pile. And don't let me catch you following me, begging for help, because you won't get it.
The movie is supposed to be set millions and millions of years ago in a galaxy far away, but every time I see it, R2-D2 and C-3PO somehow remind me of Laurel and Hardy. In any event, they may only be robots, but they're the two most sympathetic characters in the film, and it took great special effects to create them. And that's another thing Star Wars and Close Encounters have in common, real magic of combining animation, models, double, triple exposures, and all the other tricks of the special effects trade. Look, for example, at this sensational battle in outer space.
In, kid? Okay, stay sharp.
Here they come.
Don't worry. She'll hold together. Hey, baby, hold together.
So there you have it. Your basic intergalactic warfare as the heroic princess is snatched away from the Death Star by the intrepid space buccaneers. And what's the meaning of it all? Who knows and who cares? Star Wars became the new box office champion by providing pure 100% escapist entertainment. It's one of those rare movies that seems to play to every sort of audience, Gene, and bring out the kid in all of us.
You know, I've seen the picture 3 times, and that sequence more than that. And every time I see that little fighting sequence, I think I figured out the secret of at least that chunk of the movie, and that is, that looks exactly like what happens at a pinball game that kids love. We're seeing things blow up, and I think the way this movie is shot different ways, quick action like that, it's like you're putting every person as a pinball player who walks into the theater.
Maybe that's why people can see it a dozen times or 24 times, because it doesn't matter that you know the story. You still have the sound and light, the effects, the explosions, the dogfight in outer space. It's just a never-ending visual delight. I think it's a movie that will last for years.
Yeah, the only thing I'm worried about is it's so successful and so mindless fun that I hope Hollywood doesn't forget that there are people who like to see serious pictures, too. It's the new film by Steven Spielberg, the director of Jaws. It's also about the year's hot movie subject, science fiction, a subject made hot by the popularity of Star Wars. Close Encounters is about an encounter between a whole bunch of Midwestern folks and a genuine, unidentified flying object full of beings from another planet. The UFO was first picked up on the scanning equipment at an air traffic control center.
Contact 134.4. 344, what's this? Aries 31 has traffic 2 o'clock, slightly above and descending.
Aries 31, can you say aircraft type?
Negative, Center. No distinct outline. To tell you the truth, the target is rather brilliant. That's the brightest any collision lights I think I've ever seen. Alternating white to red. Colors are a little striking. Wait a second. Stand by one. Okay, Center. Aries 31, the traffic is turned. He's heading right for my windshield. We're turning right immediately and leaving flight level 350 now.
Aries 31, descend and maintain flight level 310. Great. Allegheny 444, turn right 30 degrees.
Get on the order the 45th recon winning. See what the hell they could be testing up there.
The traffic is approaching head-on, alter right, and really moving. They're right by us right now.
Aston, do you want to report officially? EWA 517, do you want to report a UFO? Over. EWA 517, do you want to report a UFO? Over.
Well, that pilot may not want to report a UFO, but there are plenty of other people in close encounters who are willing to file such reports. In fact, some of the folks are downright eager. They're not afraid of visitors from another planet. One such man is Richard Dreyfuss, a Muncie, Indiana power company repairman who first meets the UFO on a backwoods road. At first, he's terrified. And Melinda Dillon is most scared by the UFO when it terrorizes her home, but the spaceship's ultra-bright lights only delight her child, played by a charming 4-year-old actor. Unlike his mother, the kid loves the unknown. Another man who welcomes the UFOs and the alien beings is a French scientist played by Francois Truffaut, who at the end of the movie joins with other scientists to greet the visitors from outer space. It's a wonderful scene, combining fantasy, adventure, and mystery, all tempered by love of the unknown. But before the end of the picture, I think that the story gets bogged down in a poorly written subplot about the government trying to stop Dreyfuss from getting near the visitors from the other planet. But I still like Close Encounters of the Third Kind very much. Its special effects are really wondrous. The UFOs knock me out, and the picture has an awfully nice message. Don't be afraid of the unknown. Seek it out.
And also stick it out if the middle part is a little bit slow, because the last 30 minutes, to me, are among the most marvelous things I've ever seen on the screen. And another thing about that first encounter between man and the creatures from outer space, if you think back over the last 30 years and all the flying saucer movies that we've set through, we always treated the people in the flying saucers as if they were Russians or Chinese, and we had bombs and guns to greet them. And this time we just greet them with open arms. It shows a very interesting change in attitude.
It's also a change from a lot of recent very popular pictures. You know, Exorcist, the whole point was scaring, sort of abusing the audience. Jaws, scaring, frightening us. This thing is sort of, what's mysterious is unknown, and we love it, rather than running from that shark or running from the devil. So it's a special kind of picture.
You feel good at the end. It doesn't have the horror or the monster or the thing with 16 tentacles or the Spider-Man or something. It's the same as Star Wars, which is a war movie. Going to look at it in a second. There's a lot of shooting in it, but somehow nobody really gets hurt. It's more like a kid's picture, more like Flash Gordon or Buck Rogers in its innocence.
I think that a good guy cast in the lead here is Dreyfuss, who is sort of boyish and is charming, is enthusiastic. I think he's perfectly cast for the film, as he was in Jaws, the other Spielberg film.
You know, Gene, a lot of people keep asking me, and I'm sure they've asked you too, if Close Encounters is another Star Wars. Well, no, it isn't. The only thing the two movies have in common are flying saucers, but the big success of both films shows once again how strong science fiction is at the box office right now.
And we both highly recommend Close Encounters of the Third Kind, especially because of its wonderful special effects-filled ending.
Bones is a thing out there.
Why is any object we don't understand always called a thing?
Headed this way. I need you. Damn it, Bones. I need you. Badly.
Captain Kirk reunites the crew of the Starship Enterprise as an alien threat speeds toward Earth in the new movie version of Star Trek. One of 5 new movies we'll be reviewing this time on Sneak Previews. Star Trek, there are, I think, 2 questions that have to be answered. Everybody wants the answers to these. First, does Star Trek do justice to the popular television series? And second, are the special effects any good? Well, I think the answer to both questions is yes. The television series made a successful formula out of combining adventures in outer space with basic questions about human nature, and so does the movie, which opens as a vast alien presence, sort of a star cloud, is discovered heading straight toward planet Earth. The Starship Enterprise, which has just completed a massive overhaul, is assigned to go out and meet the invader, and Captain Kirk, who has now been promoted to Admiral Kirk, tries to reassemble his old crew. Everyone's on board except Mr. Spock, the half-human, half-Vulcan, totally logical science officer, who in this scene surprises the crew by turning up late.
Permission to come aboard, sir.
Granted, sir, granted.
Spock. Spock. I've been monitoring your communications with Starfleet Command, Captain. I'm aware of your engine design difficulties. I offer my services as science officer. With all due respect, Commander.
Mr. Spock.
Well, so help me, I'm actually pleased to see you.
It's how we all feel, Mr. Spock.
Captain, with your permission, I will now discuss these fuel equations with the engineer.
Mr. Spock, welcome aboard.
And so the old crew's back together again, plus a last-minute replacement named Ilea, an alien who joins the crew and then is cloned by the invading space cloud. In this scene, the invaders use Ilea as a way of making contact with Kirk and his crew.
I've been programmed by V'ger to observe and record normal functions of the carbon-based units infesting USS Enterprise.
Jim, tricorder. Who is V'ger?
V'ger is that which programmed me.
Where is Lieutenant Ilea?
That unit no longer functions. I've been given its form to more readily communicate with the carbon-based units infesting Enterprise.
Carbon-based units? Humans, Ensign Perez. Us.
Guess I never really thought about myself as a carbon-based unit before. The story of the Star Trek movie revolves around favorite themes of the TV series, which are, what is intelligence, what is life, and in which ways are humans, and Vulcans too for that matter, different from the other beings in the universe. The crew of the Enterprise confronts these questions after they meet the invading alien force, and that leads to all sorts of opportunities for the movie to exploit what we're really looking forward to, which is the special effects. And so, how good are the special effects? I thought they were pretty good. The scenes in the futuristic spaceport at the beginning of the movie are obviously phony, but the stuff in outer space ranges from the adequate to, on a few occasions, the mind-boggling. Star Trek is not as visionary as 2001, it's not as scary as Alien, it's not as exuberant as Star Wars, but it is fun at the movies, and I had a good time.
And my mind wasn't boggled once by any of the special effects. I'm sorry, we saw the same effects, but we had wildly different reactions, although, to be fair, you did say at the beginning they weren't so hot. They had a lot of trouble getting the special effects, I think you know this, and they had to change special effects teams. And frankly, all that they got, I think, are just small duplications of some of the stuff in Star Wars, which we've seen so often that we're really, I think, looking for an advance from that now. And so I wasn't really dazzled at all.
Do you think, Gino, that we get too hung up on the technology in these science fiction movies that after 2001, after Alien, after Star Wars, the critics in particular are looking at the special effects as kind of a sweepstakes, whereas the audience is really more interested in the movie as an entertainment or as an experience than...
You said it right when you were talking. You said the two things we want to know. Is it as good as the TV show, and are the special effects any good? I think
they are fairly good. They're not, you're right, they're not as great as 2001.
So that's a letdown. Of course you want to see something better that you haven't been seen before. That's the whole basis of movies, dazzle us, especially when they go out to outer space. But on the question of the story, I think that there's a big flaw here. Maybe you agree. There's this black cloud invading. We're set up. That's the major confrontation. So naturally, we wait for 2 hours. to find out what's in the cloud and what's going to happen. Who's going to get hit? Who's going to hit whom? Well, it never happens. We get a real letdown here, and we get some of that phony moralizing from the TV show. Guys in spaceships telling us we're human because we love each other or something.
Well, I don't think it's phony moralizing. I think that's one of the endearing things about the TV show and about the movie is the way that it kind of looks at human nature in a fairly optimistic way. But I agree with you, they missed the boat by not having a great villain. The greatest thing about Star Wars was Darth Vader. Darth Vader was the most popular character in the movie, and I think here they missed the boat by not having a villain equally as bizarre, as outrageous, or as individual.
I don't know. What I'm saying, I guess, is maybe little kids will like it, but I think that even they will be bored because the film just runs on.
Okay, well then here we do have a major difference in opinion. You're saying little kids will like it. I'm saying a lot of other people will like it too. I enjoyed it. I think as a movie named Star Trek, the sort of thing we're anticipating, I think this is a pretty good experience.
And I was let down. Okay. Now, our next film, we had high expectations for it as well. And the big question, of course, with the movie Superman is, does it live up to its huge promotional and advertising campaign? Well, it had better, because I think the public is wising up to the fact that the bigger the advanced promotional hype on a film, the worse that film probably is. Well, a pleasant surprise this time. Superman is very entertaining. Kids should love it, even though it runs nearly 2.5 hours. Now, the big surprise is that the film's love story, and not the much talked about flying scenes, that's what makes Superman a hit. The movie begins on the planet Krypton as Superman's father, Marlon Brando, says goodbye to his baby son. Krypton's about to blow up, and the baby is about to be sent to Earth.
You will travel far, my little Kal-El. But we will never leave you, even in the face of our death. The richness of our lives shall be yours. All that I have, all that I've learned, everything I feel, all this and more, I bequeath you, my son.
Brando was paid nearly $4 million for his brief role in the picture. He's almost worth it. He makes the fantasy, I think, believable. Now, later in the picture, when that little baby gets to Earth, of course, Superman adopts the guise of Clark Kent, mild-mannered you-know-what, for a great metropolitan newspaper, the Daily Planet. Christopher Reeve, until now an unknown off-Broadway actor, plays the bumbling Clark Kent to a T. Here he is on his first day at the Daily Planet with editor Jackie Cooper and Margot Kidder as reporter Lois Lane.
Lois Lane, say hello to Clark Kent. Hold you one, P.
Remember my dynamite expose on the sex and drug orgies in the senior citizens home? Remember the...
How you doing? Jimmy Olsen, photographer. Oh, hi, it's Clark Kent. Nice to meet you.
Anyways, coming and going.
It's got everything. It's got sex, it's got violence, it's got the ethnic angle. I mean, look at it.
Yeah, so is a lady wrestler with a foreign accent. Ken, can you open this? Oh, sure, Mr. White.
This could be the basis for a whole series of articles. Making sense of senseless killings by Lois Lane. I mean, we get psychologists, we get sociologists, we get...
Lois, you're pushing a bunch of rinky-dink tabloid garbage. The Daily Planet has a tradition. I'm sorry.
Gosh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to shake it up like that.
Oh, well, of course not, Lois. I mean, why would anyone want to make a total stranger look like a fool?
I'll take that.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Mr. White.
Olsen, why am I paying you $40 a week when I should have you arrested for loitering? Go get Mr.
Kent.
No, towel. Move, kid, move. Right, Chief. And make mine black and no sugar. Right, Chief. And don't call me Sugar.
Blood is Metropolis.
Right, Sugar. Chief wants coffee, no sugar. Take tea with lemon.
Lois, why don't you take Kent out to meet everybody, huh? Sure. Just introduce him around. He's starting with the paper today. I'm giving him the city beat.
Chief, that's my beat.
Lois, Clark Kent may seem like just a mild-mannered reporter, but listen, not only does he know how to treat his editor-in-chief with the proper respect, not only does he have a snappy, punchy prose style, but he is, in my 40 years in this business, the fastest typist I've ever seen.
Excuse me, sir.
Probably wears out a few typewriters along the way, too. The biggest change in the movie from the old 50s Superman TV show is that in this new film, Superman really digs Lois Lane. They both have a big crush on each other, and we see it here in the film's very best scene when Lois interviews Superman for the first time. He gives her a hilarious exclusive interview at her rooftop apartment. Now just watch Christopher Reeve here. He's so good, he makes you forget he's wearing a ridiculous red, yellow, and blue suit with a cape yet.
How tall are you?
About 6'4".
And how much do you weigh?
Around 225.
225? I assume then that the rest of your bodily functions are normal?
Sorry, beg your pardon?
Well, putting it delicately.
Mm-hmm.
Do you eat?
Yes. Yes, I do. When I'm hungry.
You do? Of course you do. Well then, is it true that you can see through anything?
Yes, I can. Oh, pretty much.
And that you're totally impervious to pain?
Well, so far.
What color underwear am I wearing? Oh, I'm sorry, I embarrassed you, didn't I?
Oh, no.
I did.
No, not at all, Miss Lane. It's just that this platter must be made of lead.
Yes, it is, so?
Oh, you see, I sort of have a problem seeing through lead.
Oh, that's interesting. Problems and first name. Do you have a first name?
What do you mean, like Ralph or something?
No, I mean like,
Pink.
Huh?
Pink.
A wonderful, charming scene. Now, the last 40 minutes of the film, though, is a juvenile crime story with Gene Hackman playing a soft criminal trying to blow up California. He's a namby-pamby sort of villain we used to see on that old Batman TV show. But, the love story. That's what makes Superman really worth seeing.
Ah, the love story indeed. I knew the love story was coming. I thought the special effects were great. What surprised me was, look at it this way. This movie has been coming for 6 years. It's been announced 100 times. It cost $60 million, $40 million, a couple of $1 million one way or the other.
A lot of money.
I expected that with that kind of money, they would be very solemn in their approach toward the money they spent, toward the special effects. I was surprised that it had a sense of humor. The thing that surprised me about the movie is that along with everything else, it's one of the year's most refreshing comedies.
I'll challenge you, though, on one point, and that's the special effects. As far as the flying special effects are concerned, I thought they were fine. You can't see any wires. But some of the special effects that weren't involving the flying, like a dam bursting was an obvious model. There's a plane that falls out of the sky.
What about when Superman is holding up the Earth's crust, for example, during it stops the earthquake?
That's
it's
a good one.
Bad, no?
But there's a helicopter shot that looks cheap. And there are many other things. I think they spent so much time on getting the flying right that they let some of the other stuff go.
I really don't think we've made the movie sound too boring. He's holding up the Earth's crust, airplanes are flying out of the sky, dams are bursting, the California coast slides into the sea. It's really a pretty entertaining picture.
It's a lot of fun, but I'll go back to the human terms, and specifically the performance of Christopher Reeve. This guy is a natural light comedian. He's just as good as Clark Kent as he is as Superman. He's really an actor to watch.
And if the role had been cast in the wrong way, they would have been in big trouble. He pulls it off. They had a national talent search. For once, they found the right talent.
I agree. Now, this is usually the point in the show when Spot, the wonder dog, who can smell a bad film at 50 paces, normally trots into our balcony here for the Dog of the Week feature. But we gave Spot the day off so we could spend more time with Superman and the rest of the holiday movies.
Spot is probably at home right now chewing on his Christmas stocking.
Lucky him.
And now you mentioned spaceships. We're back to spaceships again. I'm sorry, Gene, but it's the way it goes. Two of the most successful genres of the last 5 years have been science fiction and horror films, and Alien is both. It's a combination of some of the best space hardware since Star Wars and the most gruesome bug-eyed monster since the creature from the Black Lagoon. The movie begins aboard a gigantic intergalactic freighter where the crew is in suspended animation until the onboard computer awakens them for an emergency. The captain explains why their mission has been changed.
Well, some of you may have figured out we're not home yet. We're only halfway there.
What?
Mother's interrupted the course of our journey.
Why?
Yeah. She's programmed to do that should certain conditions arise. They have.
Like what?
Seems she has intercepted a transmission of unknown origin. She got us up to check it out.
A transmission? Out here?
Yeah.
What kind of a transmission?
Acoustical beacon that repeats at intervals of 12 seconds.
SOS?
I don't know.
Human?
Unknown.
So what? We are obligated under section.
I hate to bring this up, but this is a commercial ship, not a rescue ship.
Right.
And it's not my contract to do this kind of duty. And what about the money? If you want to give me some money to do, I'd be happy to oblige.
That's right.
Let's go over the bonus situation. We never talk about the bonus situation.
Sorry, can I say something?
Let's talk about the bonus situation.
There is a clause in the contract which specifically states any systematized transmission indicating a possible intelligent origin must be investigated.
I don't want to hear it.
We don't know that's intelligent.
I want to go home and party.
Parker, will you just listen to the man?
On penalty of total forfeiture of shares. Money.
You got that?
Yeah.
All right, we're going in.
Yeah.
I think Star Wars kind of pioneered that idea that a spaceship, instead of being all kind of perfect and sterile like the one in 2001, would look more like a gut bucket, like that kind of a tramp freighter, and there's the crew on board. The beacon signal comes from a nearby unexplored planet anyway, and so space regulations require them to land, and they do in one of the movie's really most inspired scenes. They explore a terrifying planetary landscape, they discover an ancient alien spaceship, and they work themselves into a very tight spot while their discoveries are monitored by television back on board.
Ash, can you see this?
Yes, I can. I've never seen anything like it.
You get a wonderful sense there of something that might have been waiting there a long time for somebody to find it. Anyway, they go on board that mysterious ship, and they wind up bringing back an extremely unwelcome guest on board their own ship, an alien creature that's the movie's most original invention. Now, I don't want to give away too much. I'm not giving away too much when I say it's kind of a cross between a squid and a spider and the Thing, and it's not real great to look at because its body is covered with extraterrestrial intestines, and the humans battle for survival. The alien oozes around the ship like a mucous membrane from outer space, and the movie is one of the scariest old-fashioned space operas I can remember.
Well, it did scare me, too. I looked away, and I was yelling with, like, a few other people, it's going to hit them on the floor, it's going to come from the ceiling.
It's in the next row, it's behind me in the theater. Right.
But I want to say that, you know, strip away all the beautiful scenery and the evocative weirdness of the picture. What we really have here is basically the haunted house film, only instead of a wild creature running around in a haunted house, we got a wild creature running around in a spaceship. And so this is not the greatest science fiction film ever made, even though it seems to be doing very well across the country.
Well, I think the combination of horror and science fiction is a very appealing one right now, very commercial. There is one moment, though, when the film does transcend just that horror, haunted spaceship sort of thing, and that's in this scene we just saw. As it goes on a little bit further, they enter that spaceship, they go inside, they find the alien pilot all desiccated from his voyage that might have taken place millions of years ago, and then they go into that big, enormous cavern down below and what they find there and so forth. Gives you a real sense, I mean, from the point of view of art direction and everything else, that this could have been an alien ship. It's not just another TV or movie creation.
Yeah, one consumer point. A lot of young people are probably going to want to see this picture. They love horror films. This one's pretty bloody. It is pretty violent, and I think a lot of people, adults and kids, are going to be turned off and maybe frightened too much by it. So for young kids, certainly, this is not a picture to go see.
It's R-rated.
Yeah, for a reason.
Yeah, there's a reason for it.
Okay. The craze now for outer space adventure films is so strong, and it's going to get stronger because of Alien, that films originally made for TV that have something to do with space are now being released in movie theaters, all in an effort to satisfy the enormous hunger in kids for another Star Wars-type adventure. Recently, we reviewed Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, which was originally made for TV. Now comes Battlestar Galactica, which, and this is even more outrageous, it already has been on TV in a slightly altered form. The movie version has a souped-up soundtrack, but it's virtually identical to the 3-hour TV pilot for the recently canceled series Battlestar Galactica. Lauren Green and a bunch of leaders of Earthling types from outer space, they debate on whether they should make friends in peace with some of their old adversaries, the evil Cylons.
Mr. President, a wall of unidentified craft is closing in on the fleet, possibly a Cylon welcoming committee. So may I suggest we launch a welcoming committee of our own?
My friend, we are on a peace mission. The first peace man has known in 1,000 years.
Well, it wouldn't be much of a show if peace were maintained, would it? The Cylons launch a surprise attack, and Lorne Greene and company strike back.
Positive shield, now. Launch fighters. All batteries commence fire.
All fire control stations manned and operational.
That's really dead. You know, all the explosions look a lot alike there. Originally made for TV, Battlestar Galactica really looks cheap when it's blown up 50 or 100 times its original TV screen size. The same thing applies here as with The Promise. Why pay money for what you have already seen for free on TV? I don't get it.
The ads have a really strange phrase. They call it the original theatrical version of the television film.
They're just dissembling there, and they're trying to fool kids, I think.
I think so. And also, of course, all the ads emphasize it's in sense-around. And is it ever in sense-around? The dialogue is so dumb that at every possible moment they go to this enormous roaring, trembling vibration throughout the theater. I walked into the theater, the jujubes and the candy counter were dancing around. I mean, everything is vibrating. Don't go with a headache or an upset stomach.
Go to watch the dancing jujubes. It's more exciting. Also, these a bunch of old men who just talk in these biblical phrases. This is a pretty worthless film.
I'm going to send my firstborn son out to battle and so forth and so on, and then they're driving around on these little toys on strings and so forth. It's a total, complete ripoff.